All right, so how the heck do you actually generate SEO on a video when you are creating content on YouTube? So this is a common question that we get more frequently than not because some folks just don't understand the way that SEO works. So let's go ahead and dive on in. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Soph. I am an SEO consultant, and we have, of course, our SEO agency, in addition to a gajillion other things that we're not going to get into today. But what's important for you to know is that SEO is a lot simpler than it sounds and a lot simpler than you might actually be thinking. And the reason why you're probably not using it, if we're being completely honest, is it sounds really complex. So if that is you, guess what? You get to bust that belief today and or change the way that you're thinking about SEO, because all that it is essentially you being able to be found by people who are looking for what you offer. And how that works is pretty darn simple. They type in something to Google or any search engine, and guess what? The top content shows up on that platform and gets pushed to the user because that's what they're looking for, which means you're getting tons of traffic, tons of people viewing your content based on whatever content you're creating and whatever they're looking for. That means you're getting free traffic on like paid ads, and you don't have to dance hilariously on TikTok in order to get that view. So let's talk about how you actually do this, how you get found, and how you get your videos ranking on YouTube so that you're not just creating a bunch of random content that's never going to be seen again. In this video, we're just going to talk over some of the basics of how to get a video to rank, which includes knowing how to create the actual title, understanding your keyword research, and also creating the appropriate description, meta tags, and more importantly, the video thumbnail. Okay, so we're on the back end of the YouTube studio, and we're gonna get a bit of a back end view of my actual channel here that we've been working slowly on growing. And look at that, we are up to 157 subscribers, which is pretty darn exciting, given that we really just started growing this channel pretty seriously in the last year. So let's go ahead and take a look. I want to show you how we know what kind of content we're going to be creating and how we know if it's going to actually perform well. So we're going to go over to the content section here inside of our YouTube studio, and we're going to click on our most recent video, which is tending to actually gain a lot of traction here and get some virality going, which is fantastic. So what we're looking for inside of this video, and there's a few different plugins that I've mentioned. We've got vidIQ that's popping up right here. You can check out our previous video on this to see exactly what that looks like and how that platform works. Pretty darn amazing. You can also check out the affiliate link in the description down below. And then we have TubeBuddy right here, which is another fun plugin. It has a free version, but also a paid version, which again, you can check out our affiliate link in the description down below. But here's what I want you to pay attention to. Right here is the actual title of the video. Now, the title of the video is probably one of the most important things because that's the first thing that we see when we're looking for something and deciding whether or not we want to read it. If the title isn't relevant, it doesn't have the key terms that we're looking for, it's probably not going to be something we're going to click on. But as you can tell, that's not the only thing that matters. Having a title in here and having your keywords in the title, meaning the thing that you want to be found for, is incredibly important. And you also need to make sure that your description includes those additional details and keywords in it. Now, you can use tools like TubeBuddy, like keyword research, like the SEO built-in studio from TubeBuddy to help you analyze this. Or you can also use tools like the vidIQ option, which you can see here. Our optimization score is pretty darn high, so we're ranking really well in that regard. Down below, we obviously need to include our video thumbnail. Now, your thumbnail is something that's important because this is what people are going to be clicking on. So when we're looking at our content, we don't just want content that has all of the right words, but we also need to make sure that our content has a thumbnail that people are choosing to say, yeah, I want to click over to that specific video. So if we go over to the analytics on this, what we can see here is we've had a huge spike in the last week since this video has been published. And with that, we can see that we've had almost 8 hours of watch time on this video alone, which is pretty darn impressive. From here, what we can also see is how people are finding our video, which is massively important because this means that people are not just finding it randomly and we're direct marketing or pushing it out to our email list or on social, which we don't really do much of anyways. But in this case, most of our content or most of our viewers are coming from YouTube recommendations, meaning on the homepage, on the up next page, people are coming over and finding this, which is amazing. 2% is coming from search, but very minimal is actually coming from our subscription feed, meaning it's not coming from people who've already been subscribed, it's coming from other people, which is exactly what we want. and how we want to get found. When it comes to our reach, you can see here we have a really high reach in regards to the number of people that are coming in, and it's coming from browse search. This is what we want. We don't want traffic only coming from people who know us, our previous subscribers. We want it coming from people who don't even know we exist yet so that they can find our channel. That's how we get found. And what we can see on this end is the impressions and how they lead to watch time. So right now we're seeing that we're getting a 3.9%, or 3.9 thousand impressions, and we're having about 196 of those click through and actually come in and watch. So this is great feedback and what we're looking at here, because we want content that's actually going to be ranking and growing. Now, don't let this deter you, because it's not going to be every video that's going to be a hit in this way. It's going to be different people who like your different content for different reasons. And so it's important to play around with different types of video thumbnails, because the thumbnails are going to be the part that's actually showing through that people are clicking on. And to better demonstrate this, we can go ahead and go over to our actual channel, where you can see a list of all of our videos and we can see which ones are people clicking on. Now, you can do beta testing with this, or split testing with this, and test two different types of thumbnails to see which ones perform the best. But what you can see here is some of these videos, these two here, are doing really well with the number of views that they're getting, and they're pretty darn recent. If we go over to all of our videos, then we can see, okay, what videos are getting the most views by simply clicking on the popular option, which helps us to see, okay, which one of these, we've got our last one that did keyword research for SEO. This video has almost 1,000 views. It's 3 months old and it has taken off. We'll likely see a similar trend, but what you're going to notice is a lot of our videos are getting a lot of reach, including some of the content that is from months, if almost a year ago. So this is good information, things we want to pay attention to. But what we also want to pay attention to is the content that isn't doing well. So we can look at that and say, okay, what are people not interested in? And in these cases, it looks like it's a lot of just tutorial videos going over JHL or some of our older stuff that wasn't really optimized back in the day. But what we're noticing is there's a massive trend here in the video thumbnails that have much brighter, much more bigger text that's bolder. And so we're going to use that to our advantage so that we can obviously adjust accordingly and continue to optimize our content. So hopefully this has been helpful. Again, what you really got to understand about this is getting people to find your video has nothing to actually do with the video content itself. It has everything to do with all of the details that we just went over in the last 7 minutes. That means that you need to be spending more time on your keyword research and optimizing your video content than you are actually recording it, because that's what's going to make the biggest difference. The video content itself needs to be straightforward, to the point, and obviously incredibly valuable and relevant. Otherwise, you're going to have a lot of people clicking off and not watching your content, which is going to hurt you. So don't just be creating random content and then hoping people are going to watch it with a bunch of keyword stuffing. Instead, make sure that your content is relevant, that it's researched, and that it's well formatted to keep people's attention, grow those watch hours, and obviously increase your click-through rate. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit subscribe down below, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, and let us know if you have any questions in the comments section so we can get those answered. Thanks again for watching, and we hope to see you in future videos.